Alright, I just finished watching all of our collaborators' videos for our collaboration on civilian versus P71, P7B Panther cars. As intended and as expected, when you don't give people a lot of strict guidelines for their videos or whatever, you get a much better creative collaboration from everybody than if you tell them, you know, do this, do that, and everything. And so I'm very happy with what we got, because we did get what I was hoping for. We got a broad group of videos that are covering things from all different aspects, and so watching them all should be more helpful than if we basically had 4 or 5 videos that were basically almost scripted with just different people filming them, if that makes sense. So one thing I think I forgot to mention in my video, and I didn't see mentioned in the other videos, was maintenance. And our Panther cars are extremely reliable vehicles. You ought to get at least 150,000 miles without any major repairs. Talking, you know, transmission, that sort of thing. A lot of folks are getting, you know, 2, 3, 4, 500,000 miles without any major repairs, and that doesn't seem to be strictly one or the other, you know, civilian or fleet. But the thing that has always shied me away from the civilian models is folks like my parents. My parents would buy a vehicle and drive that sucker for 1 to 4 years without ever changing the oil or doing any kind of basic maintenance whatsoever. Then they would trade in the vehicle and repeat the process. And they did that my whole life. As I remember, there wasn't one time where any vehicle ever got any kind of maintenance. Put gas in it and go. So I think that's the one big potential weakness in a civilian car. Now, obviously not everybody's like that. I mean, you're going to run across folks that are obsessive about maintenance and, you know, change the oil 1,500, 2,000 miles on the dot. And then you're going to have the folks that do nothing. So if you can find a civilian model that has been maintained at least somewhat reasonably, yeah, you're going to probably have a great car. Panzer Platform was talking about one of the obvious problems with the police models, and that being the downfitting process. And you've heard me gripe about that in a lot of my videos, where, you know, you uncover hidden damage and things like that, where the downfitters didn't care, just smashed pieces in, broke off tabs, cut wires, whatever. And that is certainly a recipe for disaster. You know, I've been pretty lucky with mine. I mean, I have found exposed hot wires just hanging and things like that, and I've been lucky that they never shorted to ground and did any damage. Thankfully, most of the wiring that gets done on these is fused, so even if they did screw something up, it's probably just popping a fuse. But he's right. I mean, it could be a nightmare trying to figure out what they did, quote unquote, wrong when they downfitted or decommissioned a car. Because as he touched on, there's not a standard. Well, there really is a standard way to do it, but it's not followed because not every department has knowledgeable techs doing the upfitting and downfitting. So, you know, our cars are meant to be police cars, so they have the ability to turn off the rear door locks and the rear windows and things like that built in. You don't have to cut pieces, remove pieces, but unfortunately some of the upfitters, I guess, did not understand that, and so they would go in and just butcher things. You know, they would cut wires and remove door rods and, you know, do damage like that that's not always easy to repair. I do have the one video, like my Charger, you know, they gutted the rear doors. And rather than trying to find stuff at the junkyard, I just went ahead and had the manufacturer stuff using basically coat hangers or you know, metal from campaign yard signs. You can even do it with if you get a real thick gauge electrical wire that can bend and hold a shape. You know, so it doesn't take a whole lot usually to fix, but nonetheless you may run into those type of problems. I mean, when I did the Charger, I think the video is like 10 minutes, but I can promise you it took me several hours trying to get it just right. Lots of cuss words and so forth. That's a pretty common theme on my videos. You don't get to see all the parts where I'm cussing out the automotive engineers and cussing out the folks that have cut things up, butchered things, whatever. I edit out all that part. Anyway, that was a really fun collaboration. I'll post links to those videos in case you missed them, and I'll try to think of another good collaboration topic, and hopefully we can get a lot more involvement, because I think it's good when we get a bunch of people and get all their opinions on it. So take care, and I'll see you in the next video.